Ladies and gentlemen, I have about 3 hours or so of quiet time at my house, which is something I haven't had for the last 3.5 weeks. I regret not being able to finish this series before I had home repairs and all sorts of family stuff to take care of. But alas, for those of you who are still sticking around, welcome back to Captive Industry. I hope you're having a swell day. I hope you've had a couple of really good weeks. I have had to basically stare at this map for like the last half an hour, trying to figure out what the hell I was doing. Because that's just what happens when you step away from a really complicated game for a long time. You have to kind of relearn what you were up to. And that's kind of what I've been doing, trying to learn what I've been up to. I've got a couple of things I want to do today. And I realized the video is obviously super crawly slow, and they're going to continue, unfortunately. My son and or daughter, we actually don't know yet, is going to be born in like 2 weeks. So that slows everything down. Maybe we can try to get some progress on this in the meantime, huh? I still plan to finish this series. I still plan to keep playing this game to the end, but it is going to be slow, and I apologize. It's just the way it is. I want to take a look at planning nuclear today. We have this extra cargo depot here, but as you can see, it has actually no cargo ship, so we are going to need to get a ship for it too. There doesn't appear to be one on the map. Been looking all over the place. Maybe some of these locations will have them. We were looking at that earlier. It's possible some of these settlements and stuff, we have to go look at those if we can. We need 610 battle score there. 610, I actually haven't looked at these yet, so 470, that seems doable. So we might be able to go ahead and take these guys out. I believe, yep, our ship is now en route on the move over to the sawmill, where it is going to deliver the remaining red parts so that it can we can increase how much wood we're bringing in, since that's an unlimited supply. So we're going to hopefully get that done too. They've made a lot of changes to the game in the time I've been gone. There's some optimization changes. I am noticing a little bit of a frame rate increase, especially when I zoom in on certain things, but really when I zoom out is the place I notice it a little bit. I know it seems like it's kind of jittery and slow here, and it is, but this is actually better than I was getting. And so there's lots of different patch notes and stuff. I'm not really going to go over them, but if you want to know types of updates that I've had to the game, just, go visit it on Steam and look at the patch notes. But some of these things include UI differences. You can see up here, it looks a little different, a lot slimmer. Interesting, they put low food supply here, despite the food being listed here now. It seems like it would have been better to put it right next to that, but it is what it is. All this stuff is all different, and and then also the areas down here. If you go to transports, right, like you can see everything, right? Well, when you click on a building, just clicking on it, you can see all these different logos and stuff. But just clicking on things, you can see all the different inputs all the time now. So that's kind of nice too. All right, this wall is being put in for aesthetics. This is the only reason I'm making this wall, and you'll see what that's about, later. But I feel like we need a very secure facility for something, and I'm putting concrete walls around it as a way to help secure it. Okay. Now I got to figure out what the heck these guys are up to here, because it looks to me like we just don't have enough trucks to deal with what we're doing. So I don't know what I was up to. I've been staring at this for like 30 minutes trying to figure it out. I'm going to give you a few more trucks just to kind of move product, and I'm also probably going to give you another big truck here too. Okay, so nuclear. Let's talk about this. There's lots of things we need to do on this map. There's so much to do. That's the way it always was. But we're going to be in planning mode for just a little bit. We are going to send this cargo depot, once we get a ship, we're going to send this off to get the uranium from the mine. Now, this has been 1x. It's been slowly filling throughout this whole time, so we can kind of stockpile a little bit here. Okay? And it's going to get the uranium. It's going to go into these tanks. We got 4 of these loose module M's, and eventually we'll have 4 of them. This one's not even built yet, which I can pause it. It's fine. Let's stockpile some red parts. We're going to need a lot of red parts. So when this comes in, we're going to want to crush that. So I'm going to go in, find the crusher, which is somewhere here. There it is. And we're going to want to crush this stuff. And we're going to need 2 of these crushers. I actually really don't know if we need 2, but I'm going to build 2 anyway. And they are going to be responsible for taking the uranium ore that we get from the ship and turning it into uranium ore crushed. Right? That's what both of these are going to do. Now, that gives us capacity to process 24 uranium ore into 24 crushed uranium ore. I'm going to lose my voice already. This is crazy. Every 60 seconds, right? 24 every 60 seconds. Okay? Which is cool. So then what we're going to do is we're going to transfer that into a storage tank for the uranium ore crushed. So I'm going to go ahead and grab one of these loose storages. I think this will probably be sufficient. Little one here. Okay. And I got to figure out why these guys aren't going faster. I need more trucks on these guys. It's really just rock, which we're going to be processing rock locally here anyway. So this isn't going to be such a big deal. Speaking of processing rock, let me just actually open up the formula because you guys may not know this, what the formula is for this stuff. So I want to go to really just any ingredient that I need for nuclear. So uranium ore, fine. Okay, we go into crushed. From there, that crushed ore needs to be combined with acid. We're going to get yellow cake and toxic slurry. And that's from settling tanks. So I don't actually know where the settling tanks are. Right there, okay? And these settling tanks, they process 12. So we're going to need 2 of them, right? So we're going to get 2 of them, probably put one here, let's say, and then we'll have the other one be like right next to it here. Okay? Now, I might straighten these up and, you know, turn them a certain direction or whatever, but that's what we have so far. Okay. So your job, the settling tank's job is going to be to get us the yellow cake. And it's also going to output toxic slurry, which we're going to need to send that off someplace. We're also going to need hydrogen fluoride for the next step. So we're going to want to have one more of these. I'm actually going to move it over just a little bit here. Let's move this over, and then we'll copy this and put it here. And then your job is now going to be processing rock and acid into hydrogen fluoride. Now we're going to get 8 hydrogen fluoride from just this one settling tank, and that's going to be enough for us. So 8 of this. This is also going to provide us, this workflow will provide us with 12 yellow cake as well. All right, so we'll have to try to memorize our ratios here. Again, this is like a half an hour of reacquainting myself with the game, so my ratios might be off, so we'll see how it is. So we've got acid, yellow cake, and toxic slurry. So the yellow cake, what we're going to do with that is we're going to put it into an enrichment plant with the hydrogen fluoride, and we're going to get uranium pellets for this. The enrichment plant, I don't know where that is actually. It's probably somewhere like, is it in waste management? You know what we're going to do? I can't find it. We're going to go ENR. And there it is, enrichment plant. Okay, I still don't know where it is, but whatever, that'll work for me. So this has 2 inputs, yellow cake and the hydrogen fluoride. I'm going to have the yellow cake be the closer input here, and actually want to do it like this, I guess. Yeah, we'll just do it alongside here. We'll say over here, and then we're going to want one more, I think, because you're going to take just 3 yellow cake, and we're going to be producing 12 from this workflow, so more than enough. So we probably want more of these anyway. If I had to guess, I'd say we probably want maybe 3 of these things, because this process will produce now 6 of the uranium pellets. And we need 12 uranium pellets plus a little bit of steel to give us 2 uranium rods. So if we're currently producing 6 here, that means we can only do basically 1 uranium rod every 60 seconds. And that's the amount that we're going to actually be consuming with nuclear power. We, of course, want to overproduce everything so that nuclear power can continuously run. So I'm going to need more enrichment plants, is basically what I'm saying. And I could go ahead and do 3 of them. I think that would probably be decent. I don't think I need a full 4, but the way I'm designing this, it leaves me room to expand it. So we've got lots of room on this side to just keep adding machines if we need to, okay? Now, speaking of room, I'm actually going to move this building up to be maybe closer to here. I think that's probably good. And we're going to be using bridges and stuff through here too. I want this to be a fluid travel area for what these guys are doing over here. For some reason, it's telling me that this doesn't have solid ground. Are you not down all the way? Oh, you totally are. I think you're big fat fibber pants, aren't you? I mean, you guys are the same level, so I just don't see why that would... Maybe it's... Yeah, I honestly really don't know. These are exactly the same height. These two are. They should be, anyway, the same height. Oh, well. If it complains and it whines, whatever. It's just a plan, right? 6 months of food. And again, I don't think that's the main colony. I think that's this colony over here. I think it's this colony bugging me. And probably going to need more crops to go ahead and have this. So I'm going to go ahead and quick build this, actually, just so we can get that done. Start making more vegetables, more potatoes. And we should actually get water. I believe that might be one of the issues as well, is that this doesn't have water. So let's get water running all the way over to this crop. And now we want water running all the way over to, whoops. Oh, yep, like this. There we go. And running in like that. And we'll just go ahead and deliver these. I need to well, I don't think I need to unpause them. I could just quick deliver and it will unpause it for me, I think. I'm in planning mode still. But that should provide water that we need to get these crops irrigated. Maybe that was the problem. Maybe it wasn't getting enough water on these crops. Because honestly, these 3 fields, the 6 fields, sorry, should be more than enough food to handle that many people. So we'll keep an eye on it. But again, I don't believe it's this side that's a problem. This side here consistently has full belts. And if it has a full belt, that means it has full storage. So they consistently have tons of potatoes. This is all working really nicely. We're getting consistent on the chickens and stuff now. We're just kind of unleashing it all. Water, everything is good here. I'll continue working on this stuff later, I guess. But right now it's nuclear. Don't get distracted. It's nuclear now. Okay, so we have the area where the enrichment plant is going to create the uranium pellets. And then the uranium pellets need to go into an electric assembler, which is going to take 12 of these pellets. And notice how we're only making 9 every 60 seconds right now. It's going to take 12 of these pellets and then generate the uranium rods. So it actually looks to me like I'm going to need... I think actually this is sufficient for what we need to do. I think it'll work. Let me just get a couple of bridges here. I want a medium bridge in front of these things. And we might move these over too. I haven't decided exactly where these are going to go, so I'm sure I had it worked out before, but I don't know. I didn't take the time to write it all down on paper or anything, but I think this is a pretty decent area for this, and maybe we'll go a little bit closer, but we don't need to. We've got lots of space here. Okay, so the goal is, though, to use up as little space as possible because I can then expand more water catchers. I can expand infrastructure that helps me in processing the waste for these various different things as well. Maybe even add some crops here or something. I don't know, but not on this land. But I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, so enrichment plant. That's going to give us the rods. Okay, now the rods need to go into an electric assembler and a little bit of steel. All right. So what we want to do here is we're going to have unit storage for the pellets. And we'll just put that, I guess, like right here. That's probably fine. Just in case I do want to expand it, we'll put it in the center like this. And then we want a little storage for the steel. And I think what we can probably do here, get away with here, is if I just put, let's say, that far, we could then have the bridge go over here like this so they can keep walking through, right? And then the steel is going to be delivered via truck. So we're going to have steel in here. Very easy to deliver this via truck. We're only using 0.3 units of steel at a time. So it's really, really easy to deliver this by truck. And then you will have uranium pellets right here, okay? So uranium pellets, steel. Finally, we take the electric assembler right in front of that. Probably go off the side, maybe over here. That works for me. And then the final ending point for all of this is the nuclear power plant, the nuclear reactor. And I want that reactor to be kind of like right here, right up against this hill, this cliff here. So it's going to be kind of like here. Okay, let's say here. So that's where our power, all of our major power resources are going to come from here. This building will generate, I believe, 15 megawatts of power at its peak capacity. And we're going to use it at its peak capacity if we can help it. If we can, we're going to use it as close as possible to its peak capacity. These are, of course, going to stay online. All of these turbines, all this power and stuff over around here, it's all going to stay online, okay? The only difference is we're going to, much like we did with the fuel, which apparently is bad. I'm going to have to look at that now. They rebalanced how fuel works in the meantime, too. It should have helped us. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on here. It might be further down the chain. Again, I haven't played in a while, so I'll probably have to spend hours looking at it, figuring out all the changes they've made. But that's what I get for playing stupid, complicated games. That's what this is you get what you ask for, kind of thing, right? So anyway, these diesel generators are on power production priority 15. That's the lowest priority. Okay, higher the number, the lower the priority, right? So they only turn on, they only do anything when they're needed, and they're only needed if the steam power is insufficient. So likewise, we'll do the same thing with our steam generation. We will have the steam turbines only work when they are needed by having a lower power priority. So the generators, for example, will have P4. That's probably fine. I'll probably do it P6 or something. I can play around with different things if I want to, but the nuclear power plant will be P1. It will always be the first place we take power, and then we dip into the rest of the sources. This is going to mean that we have extra steam, lots of extra steam being generated here. We're then going to redirect all that steam into creating more water, and then we'll also have, with priority as on a little balancer here, the water sent to the nuclear to make sure that it's always cool. Okay? So, I hear boats coming. Yeah, nice. All the wood. Great. Okay, so that's like the tentative plan for this. Now, what's happening in here, right? What about this area? Why is it all boarded up? It's like both of these are going to complain. You really shouldn't. Oh, I see why. I see why they're complaining. Oh, interesting. Because because we're making a ramp here. Oh, right. Okay, stop. Yeah, that's not what we want. I actually don't want to ramp this. Yeah, I don't want to ramp this. I want to go straight. Sorry, everybody. False alarm. Ignore me. I want to go straight at level 3 to here. Okay? So level 3 to here, and most likely that means that this area here is going to need a fill. And so we're going to have that be filled. All right, so probably this area too will need filled. Let's get a fill here instead. And see, it already took out the wall, so I'll have to remake that wall, but that's okay. Once we get this full, this thing should stop yelling at me. Okay, so we have the production all the way up to nuclear, but there's a lot of other substances we're going to have to pay attention to, right? Oh, I didn't actually share what this was. This area here is going to be our very secret, it's not actually secret at all, but it's going to be our very well guarded and protected facility for storing the spent fuel. A special underground storage facility that can safely manage any radioactive waste without causing any danger to the island's population, leaving a legacy for the next generations to come. All right, this is going to fit in right there, okay? And we're just going to have this wall over top of it. Now, it doesn't need that, right? I'm just doing it for looks. The wall is for looks. It doesn't need that. You don't even need to place it in a mountainside. You can just place it out in the open. It's fine because it's like the underground storage for it is infinite and it just goes underground, right? But I'm kind of nesting it in this mountain because I think it looks cool. So that's what we're going to do. I just need them to, chip away at that while they can. And then they'll go ahead and fill this in. So that one's not going to, this one's not going to be borked now. So I can put this back over here. And, well, yeah, I'll just wait until they fill it in. It's fine. But in any case, that brings it all the way to here. And then we have the uranium rods going in this way. The waste is going to come out there and go into storage. All right? That's how we're going to play this. Most likely, I'll need another bridge right in front of this thing just to sort of, let the trucks move back and forth here. And I may end up moving this over a little bit more, maybe moving this over just to get another bridge through here. I can't do diagonal bridges, unfortunately. So I can't have one like that, but it is what it is. Okay, so let's talk about the waste products. Okay, now here, there's no waste. At this process, though, we have toxic slurry as a waste product. And you can see, in order to process toxic slurry, you could just dump it in the water, which sucks, or you can filter it just like you do with regular wastewater using filter media and brine, and you get some water back for this as well as some slag. All right, so how are we going to process that? Well, processing it will require water treatment. Now, I could pipe the toxic slurry all the way over here and get it into this system, all right? I could. But these are under a fairly good load already. They're not full, of course, but I don't want to fill them. I want them to always be operating at slightly under capacity just because, well, then it keeps my water completely good all the time. The one thing I am going to do, though, is I'm going to get that stuff filtered out over here. So this area is going to have its own water processing, and then the water from the processing plant will then go that way into the piping network, okay? So what we'll do is we'll say the waste, and I have no idea if this was my plan before, but it is my plan now. We're going to say that the water treatment plant will be right about, let's say here. And what this is, actually has to face this way like that. Yep, there we go. Probably about here, okay? And this will be a processing plant. Now, in order to actually process the toxic slurry completely, we're going to need the toxic slurry, obviously going to come this way. And that's with a pipe, easy. We also need brine moved. That's with a pipe as well, awesome. But the filter media, that has to be moved by a belt. And filter media is created with a lot of like the waste products type stuff. I mean, it's not waste, but it's created with sand and rock, and I think it's gravel actually. This right here is creating filter media. So gravel, sand, coal. I don't want to route all that stuff, and we're already producing way more filter media than we need. You can tell because this thing is constantly waiting to produce more. As a way of seeing it, we could produce 36 every 60 seconds with this one, but we're only consuming 16. Okay, so we have a lot of capacity here is what I'm saying, and this tank is completely full. So what we're going to do is we're going to trust that trucks can come over here and grab the filter media out of this, and they'll truck it from there, and they'll drop it off over here, and they're going to be able to truck that way faster than we use it. So I think it's fine because we're only going to be using 4. And we won't even be using it every 60 seconds because I don't believe we're going to be creating 48 toxic slurry every 60 seconds. We're going to be creating 18. So it's not even that because this formula here doesn't even produce it. So we're creating 12. So we definitely don't need this running all the time is what I'm saying. So given that that's the case, we'll go ahead and get a couple of tanks here. We need the filter media, which is going to be, I guess... This is loose storage, correct? Yeah, loose storage. We'll just put 2. And we'll say the filter media is going to be stored, let's say, here. That's fine. Now, this process over here is also going to require acid. And acid needs to be brought in with the truck. So we're also going to have an extra acid tank. And I'm going to put this in the middle here, I think. Probably right near the bridge. About like this, I think. Doesn't leave me a whole lot of room to expand, does it? You know what? Here, we'll try this. Let's put this over. All right, let's try. I just want to have enough room to expand later if I want to. So we'll say that this is a thing. That's potentially a thing, okay? And then we'll put this storage for the acid right here. Okay? That way we have the ability to expand 3 more if we want to, and it's going to fit in nice and neat. All right. All right. So that's acid, and we're going to have trucks bring that. That's the wrong storage. Oh, acid is totally supposed to be fluid storage, isn't it? It is. Did I do that right? Only one way to find out. No, I did not. I need to go over a couple more steps. And before you say use the key bindings, I don't remember that shit. It's been a while. Here, let's go like this. I mean, I'm not really somebody that uses key bindings anyway. You guys see me. I use mouse for clicking things constantly. And it's a habit that's developed by trying to show people how to do things. You can't see me click a hotkey. You can't see me click a button for that. You can see me go copy for that. And it's just built up over years of doing it as tutorial videos and all sorts of stuff like that for both YouTube and my career before YouTube. And yeah, it's just a habit I'm probably never going to change. So, I mean, I'm aware of the key binding, but I'm not going to use it very often probably. All right, so acid, There it is. And we have, yeah, so 8 acid from this, and we're going to be able to truck that in more than 8 easily. So this is going to be fine. So let's talk about pipes, right? So the pipes are going to come in, and it's just the ore crushed. So as long as the pipe is, say, level 1 here, it should be fine. We'll say it comes in and goes down like so. And then you come out at level 1 and then down. And then you come out, I could do it here, I guess, at level 1. Nope. Level 1. Yep. And then down. Okay. And then what we're going to do, just to make sure we have, like, again, nice fluid movement for vehicles, I'm going to plop in, I think, a bridge here. And we're just going to have this pipe come out and straight over like this. And I may actually need to move this tank. I don't know yet. We'll see how that plays out, because there is the toxic slurry that also has to move to the water area, and that's going to need to go across this too. So what I actually may do, this actually would be cleaner, wouldn't it? Yeah, this would be cleaner. We're going to switch this to be over here like that instead. And then what we'll do is we'll just kind of move this over like so, right? And then hook it up there like that. Okay. So this will be sort of, oh, I need to make sure that's paused. Okay. This will be sort of where our acid is now, and it just gets into the same system. But this also allows me to take the toxic slurry, which I believe comes in with a U-shaped connector. Yep. This toxic slurry is going to need to come up. That's rock. Ooh, the bridge needs to move. Yep, bridge needs to move a little bit further. Go like that. And then we'll say that the toxic slurry is level 1 here. Okay, and then this can come up. Yep, like that. And up like that. The tools for making belts and stuff, they feel different. I kind of like it. It feels a little more snappy, and I'm not meaning by like faster, but just it feels like things are just snapping right where they need to be a little bit more fluidly. I feel like that's the case anyway. I might be wrong. So we're going to take the toxic slurry, right, and it's going to go underneath this. So we're going to send it this way. Now, what I could do is then adjust where this stuff is, because we need extra stuff for this too. So let's say this toxic slurry is going to go into some sort of a storage container probably. So this will be fluid most likely. Yeah, so we'll say that it goes into fluid here like this. And we'll give a little bit of room for a balancer. So we'll most certainly need that in case we're overflowing here. We can dump it. I don't want to, and I don't believe we ever will be that way, but it's good to come prepared. We'll have a balancer right here just in case. Okay, so this is for toxic. Wait, toxic slurry is. Oh, this is the yellow cake. Oh, yeah, the yellow cake. Oh, we need that to go forward. Okay, so I'm wrong. Never mind. Here. See? I gotcha. I got the right plan. Just not the right execution on that plan. No big deal. Everybody just laughs at this guy. Haha, look at me. Doesn't know what he's doing. We'll bring it up. You can actually just go straight down from here, I suppose. But I should actually leave it up level 1 just for the sake of connecting another one later. Yeah, and then we'll go ahead and kill that because it's not needed because I'm a doofus. Put this like so, and there we go. Okay, so we'll just basically move these to line up like so. Okay, and this will be where we process this. So toxic slurry comes in, it's going to go into this tank here, and then it eventually works its way to being processed through here. If for some reason this thing is full or not operating and this thing can't move, we will send the slurry this direction. Now it probably makes more sense, and I know people are going to say this, it probably makes more sense to have the balancer before the tank. And before you say anything, I agree. So we'll do that. There we go. And then the balancer will be here instead. Okay. And there we go. Okay. Like so, and like so. All right, now I have the ability to send it out this way if I must. I don't want to, but if I must, I will. So we need filter media. That's being delivered to a storage tank, which I don't really think it needs to be this storage tank. It's a little far away because there needs reason to be that far away, so we can bring it closer, I suppose, maybe here. And then the filter media will then get basically belted in like so. All right, that's where that goes in. So trucks are gonna bring it, and then we'll just drop it in there. Last thing is brine. We have tons of brine, but do we have the ability to move that brine somewhere else? So this is seawater. This is steam depleted. We have brine that should be heading this direction, and I want to reroute it over here, right? So the brine is already here. So what we'll do with this is we're going to redirect that brine, and we can do so like this, and we'll just go, I don't want it to go up like directly over that, if I could. There we go. Directly over top of this coal belt area, like that. Yep. And then it feeds in from this side. Okay. It's almost like it was planned this way, but you get to just assume that I planned it this way. Okay. All right. So now the brine's going to continue to go out there where it gets dumped, whatever, but at least it's redirected this way, and we can use the brine to process this into water and slag. Okay. So that's everything for processing this. And last thing is the yellow cake then. So the yellow cake is going to be moved. I guess it's not the last thing because this is, you know, rock here. But we're going to move this direction and go there. And to be honest, I think what I'll do is put a U-shaped balancer in underneath. Maybe a couple of them. Because I might expand, right? We might have more to do. So put one there, and we'll put one here. I love that I can see them underneath that plan. If I had a regular bridge, that would be harder to place, but planning mode is nice. It has its advantages. So we'll just place this like that, and place this like this. Yes, they use power. It's an inconsequential amount of power, and I don't care. Yeah, we're gonna have you come in like that. And then you will go this way like that. And now I have some flexibility in going that way if I need to. Now, the one thing we need in these buildings, though, is hydrogen fluoride. So I think I'm actually too close. I'm actually a little bit too close here. So let's bring that back. All right, I can't actually touch that right now, it looks like. It's fine. We'll just leave it. It's going to come out of there anyway. What we'll do is we'll cut and we'll bring this stuff just a little bit further away, probably about like there, maybe down about like this. It gives me room for a bridge later, right? Like I said before, it's about like this, I guess. If I'm going to do that, I suppose I really don't need the two. Yeah, I don't need the two. So we'll get rid of these. We'll just merge them all into one, and then we'll push them this way. Okay, so with that being done, most likely the bridge should move to be here instead. Oh, I can't because of, all right, here, because of this. All right, now put the bridge back. Like this. There we go. Okay. So this side will be where the hydrogen fluoride comes out, and this side will be where the toxic slurry comes out. So now we'll have you come out and then in like that, and then you can come over and like that, and then you will continue over like this and go like that. Okay, hydrogen fluoride is going to go underneath this. So this is going to come over, and then it ducks underneath and goes right into there. But we also need it to rise from this point, height 1, and go right alongside this. Like so. And like so. Okay, hydrogen fluoride is routed. Final thing is the slurry. As you can see, we can go up, height 1, connect, and then up, height 1, and connect. Okay? And then the yellow cake just goes, I guess, across like that. It's fine. All right. So all that stuff's routed with pipes. Looks pretty good. We have this area here, of course, which has to be raised up. Now, I'm not going to put another storage tank in between these because this is more than enough uranium ore storage. If we fill all these up, we have zero chance of it being a uranium ore problem for nuclear power. There's no risk there for that. So I'm going to have you come over like that, and you come over like that. And then I guess on this side, we'll say that I think we'll have you two go into this one and you two go into this one. But I like sometimes they have uneven numbers of things, but I think if we're filling all these up, we're going to be good anyway. So I don't think I need to overthink this. So why don't we just say this direction, and then from there we go up the height 2, and then it comes across like that, and then we can say that you go out this direction. And I really don't need to go that far because there's already a... Yeah, we don't need to go that far, actually. I just go from here to here, then over 1, up to level 2. Yep, and then here. So I can back this off because it's important to have basically just one of these connectors need to be connected. So I'll just go like this. And then that'll be what happens there. Yep. And then you will connect here. You will connect here. You will connect here. And then you will connect here. All right, that's all routed. All this is looking good. That's going to be our crushed uranium. And this goes through. Rock is going to get delivered via all these guys. And so to do that a little bit more fluid, I suppose, I can just put a rock storage right here. And that'll get them to just deliver the rock. And then the rock will just go into there, basically. So I can actually have them start this, and I'll tell them to store rock here. So they have a place to put it. It's a shame that the excavators can't just dump it into the storage directly. By the looks of things, you would think that they're more capable of it. But I guess it's more of an elevator, right? It kind of gets sucked up from here and then dumped. So the trucks, I guess, make more sense in that way. Okay, so bridge done through here, done. We get to the uranium pellets. All right, everything else is routed up until this point. The uranium pellets need to go as well as the steel. All right, so uranium pellets are going to go in there. This is a really easy thing to route. We'll take the take this and go straight over. I guess we can yeah, go like this. Just go straight in there. You go straight that way, and then you go there. And that's really easy. We route it into the storage. Uranium pellets done. Steel's being delivered by truck, so no belts needed. And then once we're in this area, we need to then put it into this. So I'm gonna bring this like pretty close because I want this coming out and going straight over to where it needs to be. And so I need to actually move it a little bit. It needs to be here, I think, to make this nice and smooth. Yeah, like this. And then that way this part can go around. So from here, I need a bridge for vehicles. Yep, like this. I need a bridge, let's say here. I right-clicked because that's how smart I am. Right there. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and have that delivered quickly so the trucks are not obstructed right now. And then the plans are kind of laid in, right? We'll have the uranium pellets going through here, and then the steel is getting routed into like this. Okay, and then you are creating the uranium rod into there. Now, you probably should, before I forget again, have some sort of storage for the uranium rods, probably, and we could do that with... Okay. Because I'm going to be in the way of the water pipes, and I don't want to be. I don't think I need all these water pipes, but I was going to use this underside of this bridge into here to make it clean. So I'm actually going to amend the plan slightly here. And it's a really easy amendment. We're just going to move you over about like here instead. Okay. And then this belt can just go there instead. Everything is the same except for you're a little bit further over. And then what that does is it gives me enough room to put pellet storage right here. Basically right up against this bridge, like that. Yeah, although it's not fully lined up, but I don't want to get in the way of that, so it's just going to be the way it is. Doesn't have to be, though. I could move it. I could move the bridge. It's too late. Actually, I could just move this to line it up, move it closer. That would help, too. Yeah, I'll just move those plans, but it's whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm going to have it be like that. And then this will then travel under the bridge, at least that far. And then what we'll do is we'll cut this and bring it, I think, closer or further away. Right here. Yeah, that way this can be like that. Okay, there. We have successfully routed all the components we need to have nuclear power running in this area. It's fairly straightforward. There's a lot of components to it. It's also very expensive. It's a lot of red construction parts everywhere, tons of them. It's also electronics too that needs to be made. And that's the second part of today's video. I was hoping to get to it a little bit sooner than that, but you know, I'm slow. It's fine. Okay, let's talk about electronics 2. We started by having the graphite made a couple of videos ago, I think. And that's been happening, but we have sour water as a byproduct, and we don't really have a place to put that sour water at the moment. I haven't decided if I'm going to send it over here to be processed with the rest of the sour water, or if I'm going to process it locally and turn it into actual water and send it that way. The problem with that plan, of course, is that it's going to generate sulfur, and I have nothing I could do with it. As a reminder for those who've been gone for a little bit, like myself, if I want to take a look at the recipe for molten silicon and graphite. Graphite produces sour water, right? From coal and chlorine, we get graphite, which is great, and then sour water. We use the graphite to make, in the process of making molten silicon. But sour water has a bit of an annoying property. The only way to process it, it has a lot of pollution if you dump it, and the only way to process it will give off sulfur and ammonia. Now, you can process that sulfur into a lot of different things, but it's not that convenient to process it where we are. So it might be nice, actually, to process the sulfur, which we need to process a lot of sulfur. Unfortunately, if I was going to process 6 sour water, I guess it wouldn't be that bad. Yeah, we can actually make do with it. It's not that much stuff. So 6 sour water every 60 seconds. Yeah. So what I can do is put up a sour water stripper over here. This is going to give off ammonia and sulfur and some water, but it's only going to happen, looks like every 240 seconds. So that's not a big deal. If I do get the second one online, I have it paused. If I get the second one online, then it cuts that time in half, right? So 120 seconds. But the sour water stripper is going to give us water, which of course we can then send on the pipe network into here and then, you know, fill the water up even better and all that stuff. But the ammonia and stuff has to be processed as well. That's like one of those problem for another day things. I'm going to work on trying to figure out what I want to do with that, because again, I don't remember what my plan was and why I put it over here in the first place. But we do have the arc furnace. It's already in the middle of processing this graphite into molten silicon. So the molten silicon, which again has slag and exhaust as outputs. I'll look at that after the video's over and try to figure out where I'm going to route that. It's probably pretty easy. There's some exhaust already being processed here, so I could just like kind of move it. It's not here. It's being processed right here. And there's pipes that just, you know, go into there. So that's a water pipe, and then there's an exhaust pipe right there. So I really just need to tap into this exhaust pipe. These two, just tap into this, and that's it. Exhaust is routed, done. For the slag, don't really have a whole lot to do here with that. I think I plan to probably crush it. Maybe I'll crush it right here. Or I can send it on its way with this, because I believe this is a slag. Is it not? Yeah, this is also slag here. That's probably why I did it here. I bet that's why I put it here, because I can tap into that slag right there. So I'm learning, relearning. What we're gonna do is bring the silicon reactor. Here it is. So the silicon reactor takes 12 molten silicon to create silicon polymer, okay? Or poly. And so it's 12 of this. This is producing 24 all by itself. So I'm gonna need 2 of these. By having 2 of these, I'll produce 24 silicon, okay? 24, silicon polymer. Now we also have hydrogen as an input here. So we're gonna need to create hydrogen over here as well. I think I can handle that. I'll go ahead and put you here and then another one right here, I think. Yeah. And then we'll take a look at what that's going to entail in moving that. But by having... Oh, I need to go one back, actually. Yeah, one more back. It needs to be here, which actually might be problematic, but we'll see if I can make it work. I'm not going to build it yet. It's just planning. Like a whole day of planning. I know. That's exactly what you wanted after like 3 weeks off of this game, right? Just the whole video with nothing but planning. It's better than I have been able to make. So we'll take the hydrogen and then the silicon polymer. That stuff is going to get sent underneath this pipe. We're gonna raise this up to height 2. I was gonna put it under the pipe, so I guess I'll go under the pipe here. Yep. No, almost. You gonna let me do it right there? Yep. And then we'll raise it up to height 2 and send it across here. Okay. And I don't want it to make a post. I don't want it to block the road. So maybe stop here and then go like, oh, come on now. The other one can do it. Why can't you? You gotta be kidding me now. Is that good enough? I hate that you can't govern where the posts are. Look how far away this one is. But this one won't do it. And it's the same type of belt. It's not even a different type of belt. It's the same thing. But it won't allow me to move that. Yeah, I'm going to try to get it to be there. And then I guess I have to mark that and then start again. Seems to be the only way to get that to happen. But you're going to end up basically being right here. Okay. So the silicon gets made here and brought over here. And what we have here is sort of a convergence of 3 resources. Okay. We have the electronics, which is going to get tapped into right here. This supply of electronics. Okay. No, that's mechanical parts underneath electronics. Okay. What we want is the electronics are going to get routed over here too. And they are going to come in right underneath this. Okay. They come in right up in here. It's pretty convenient that this actually just works like there. Okay. And so this ends up being, right like so, underneath this belt. Okay. So electronics coming in off this belt, pulling off this supply to here. And remember, maintenance has priority. So the balancer will send it to maintenance if it's possible. And only when it's full on maintenance does it send it this way, right? So it's going to come through here only when it's available, not going to get in the way of maintenance. And it ends up in this area. PCBs ends up in this area. Electronics in this area. Polymers or silicon in this area. What does that equal? Well, it equals... I'm going to try to get it, but it's not letting me. So I'll just go over here instead. It equals PCB and electronics 2. That's what it is. PCB, electronics, silicon equals electronics 2. All right. So we're going to produce electronics 2. Now, originally, maintenance 2, which requires mechanical parts and electronics 2, was going to be stationed here. And the only reason I was doing that is just to sort of keep electronics all together. Or to keep, maintenance all together. But I don't care about that anymore. It was mostly just for visual cleanliness, which honestly, I'm a master at visual cleanliness anyway, as you can tell. So I cared a lot about that. In any case, more functionally useful is to place it here. Maintenance can be right up against this research lab, because what's able to happen here now is that the electronics 2 can get fed directly into here, this maintenance depot. And I think I actually flopped these. Did I flippy flop these? I think I flippy flop. No, I didn't flippy flop them. I'm good. Yeah. So we can send it into here instead, okay? So what we're going to have here is a balancer. It is going to be a flat balancer, I believe. That's electronics. So flat balancer. And the flat balancer is going to be right here. All right. And here's what the flat balancer will do. First, I'm going to have a small storage positioned here. And I don't actually think I can get it in there now because I can't get it with that balancer. So maybe I won't have the storage, or I can do it right here, I suppose. Yeah, I could probably deal with it being right here. Now, some of you who know the future of the game probably will say, but this gets in the way of your research later. And quite honestly, it's whatever. I don't care. I could do something else with it over here, or I'll route it over this way, or I'll just remove this lab and only feed one lab at a time. It's whatever. But actually, I think it's probably better to put this here. Yeah. So we'll put this here. So this is going to be where our initial supply of electronics 2 is going to be stored. The electronics 2 is going to come from here. It's going to route over top of this belt. Okay. And then it gets placed into that balancer, which will then bring it to this storage or to maintenance. All right. So that takes care of one thing. Now on this side, we can also put mechanical parts. You can see mechanical parts can go in here, right? And mechanical parts just happens to be routed through here as well, okay? So the trick is to get mechanical parts to also flow into here. And I know this is very tight, and you guys love it when I just make it all super tight and just space efficient. I know you love this. This is my favorite part, is pleasing exactly and pleasing you and doing exactly what you expect of me. So I'm going to put this here, then I'm going to lift it up, take this across, yep, and dump it into there. And that's where it goes. It goes into that hole, hopefully. A little squiggly compared to what it was when I was planning that out. It's because I'm not over enough. Yeah, I need to be over more. We go over like that. Yeah, like that. Done. Okay, so mechanical parts. Again, it's taken. Now, it looks to me like I did this wrong. I did this wrong. I wasn't supposed to take the mechanical parts from the belt here. That wasn't the plan. The plan was to take it off of this. There. Take it off of this. So let's pull this back. And then we just pull it off of this. There. Okay, so right at the balancer, we still give priority to maintenance, but we now can go this way. And this opens up a new path for mechanical parts as well. And so it all goes through and dumps into here only when necessary, only when needed. We only take enough to fill this belt. This belt serves as our sort of reserve storage for that. Everything else just keeps flowing. All right, so the last step in creating electronics is to get the assembler. Yep. And what we're looking for is this formula right here. Okay. Assembly 2. And I can place this kind of... I don't think I need 2 of these. How much do you make, actually? Do you make enough for me to... 6, 10, 12 days. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to need... Looks like 3 of these things for now. So 3, I guess we could put this kind of like... It's a little tight, I admit. But I feel like we can probably make this work if I go 1, 2, 3. And then everything just merges in, right? So we have the PCBs that are going to get delivered, and they can be on this side ground level and go as far over there as possible. 1, 2, 3. And then we have the silicon, which gets delivered. I kind of want to see the formula in real time. There we go. Yep. Let's copy the settings from this to this. There we go. And then we have the electronics. Now the electronics gets delivered by 6 and silicon by 6. And so I need you to be up at the height 2 still, actually. You're not coming down to 1 because this one's already at 1. Yeah, we don't want you both to be at 1. So you need to be up to 2. Stay where you were, basically. It'll look cleaner that way anyway, right? There we go. and then it'll come down like so. And it looks like it's not going to be super clean coming down, but it does mean I can probably come off the edge like this, and that'll be fine. Oh, there. Like that. Yep. And then finally, the level 1, which I totally should have done before the level 2, just for the sake of, you know, ease of use. But we'll have this sent kind of through here and then down. And then I can tap into that, as you can see, and bring it this way and then down. And then into from here, bring it this way and down. And there we go. That creates Electronics 2. We're going to have 9 units of Electronics 2 created every 60 seconds. Maintenance is going to require 6. So we will produce 50% more than we are currently consuming. That is going to go into the reserve for building things, and we're going to need that over there, okay? So I'm going to let all of this stuff build now, and when we come back, after a short cut, you will see all of it hopefully working, okay? Okay, so we almost have it all working. I want to show you what the small little tidbit that's not working is. So everything's routed here correctly, and these guys are all full on PCB and electronics and stuff. They're ready to start making the Electronics 2. But unfortunately, I'm having a difficult time getting the silicon because I still don't have production of hydrogen over on this side. And so we have the the molten silicon coming out, and that's great. I've got the slag routed, I've got the exhaust routed, everything seems to be fine, but I can't get these guys, which I've made 4 of these, and I've got them, well, I've got 4 of them because this produces 24, this produces 24, that's 48, and then I've got, 12 coming through here for processing, so it's a 2-to-1 ratio there. So I've got 4 of these, but I had to move them just a little bit to kind of fit it all in. The thing is, I don't have any hydrogen, so this tank is going to feed hydrogen into the system, and I'm a little bit tight here. So I'm not entirely sure I'm going to be able to get it all working as intended here. I might be able to. We'll see. Let me see if I can somehow get this to, yeah. So I need to come in at an angle in order to get these in, because that's just the way it's going. And it looks like that one's not going to cooperate with me because I'm too tight with this. So probably should have scooted these back a little bit. I had the room to do that, and I didn't. But they were already built. This is like this when I got here, so it's my excuse now. So one thing I guess I could do is maybe scooch these back a little bit. That would leave up room for this. So if I was to, for example, bring this over this way and kind of do one of these numbers, that would allow all this stuff to kind of move, and then I could get this taken care of out of here. And just by doing that, I can get this area kind of cleared up and just leave enough room for the hydrogen to get into here. That's the main thing, is the hydrogen needs to get in here. So we'll put the molten here, put the molten here, and I think that probably solves the problem. It's a little bit sloppy, but I mean, that's just like my MO at this point, so whatever. Now it looks to me like this pipe also needs to kind of come up and around because it's too tight. And that's fine. We'll just move this. This wasn't even here. You guys didn't see this, right? You never saw me make this, so you have no idea. Just pretend. Pretend you never saw it. All right, so go like this, and then in. I should be able to get that in there. Yep, there it is. You should be able to go in like that. Very good. And then you're there, and you are there. Okay, so all the hydrogen is routed, and then finally this exhaust needs to be routed back over to here, which is fine. The thing about this one, though, is it's not going to be on for a while, so I kind of don't as much care. The hydrogen is going to get to the silicon via electrolysis. So I've figured out kind of what I want to do with this stuff. I've put a sour water stripper here. This is going to, of course, take the sour water from this area, which is not very much, but it's going to take the sour water here, and it's going to get deposited into here. But here's the thing. We need steam to be here, okay? This is my full circle and how I'm going to make this work. I don't know if this is how I thought. Maybe this was what I had planned before, but I don't know. This is how we're going to do it now. Steam, high pressure steam, is needed to process the sour water. We're going to get sulfur, ammonia, and water. Now, this is 24 water. This is why I think maybe this was the plan before. 24 water is a very specific number because if I go over here to my research, The active research currently is electric boiler. Electric boiler just uses electricity. And you take 24 water, you make 24 steam. You don't need any other inputs. Perfect. That's going to give us our steam. And it doesn't need very much. We only going to use 24 of it. So we only need to take the water, which just conveniently piped through here, right? We only need to take that water and bring it in. So this water, once it happens once, the water will then come out into the boiler. Boiler will then boil it to get it back into here. And this will be a nice little loop. And then the spare water that's not being used will then get pumped back into the system, right? And then that's going to take care of the sour water stripping. We're going to get ammonia from this. The ammonia is then going to get processed with the electrolyzer, and that ammonia gets us nitrogen and hydrogen, which is convenient because if I was to, and I think I was going to put this here, but I don't remember, but if I place this here, then the nitrogen can go immediately to this exhaust here, which is already processing nitrogen anyway. Nitrogen just goes away, and we're left with 12 hydrogen. That 12 hydrogen can make its way into this tank, and then we provide all the silicon for this. Once that's all done, this stuff will then push it into here, which then pushes it into here optionally, or it will then push into here and then go into storage in this area where the trucks can reach it, right? Because the trucks can't reach here. So we're going to have an extra storage just in case for maintenance, but it's also going to pull from this side too. So yeah, that's that. And then that gives us electronics 2. It gives us maintenance 2. And with that, we can now start to build a lot of these things that we can't build currently because we don't have electronics 2. So for example, the enrichment plant, we need electronics 2 for each one of these. Obviously, we don't have that. We don't need it for anything else until we get to, I think it's just the nuclear plant is the only ones we have left. And this thing is expensive. 800 red parts are needed for this. And a tenth that much for electronics. The cool part is, at least the good news is, none of this stuff requires maintenance 2. None of it does. So I don't need to turn this building on. Where in the world is it? I don't need to turn this building on. I can let this sit here until we need it, right? And so that means I can be pushing all of the electronics 2 into storage once we start making it. Yeah. So there you go. I think that's going to be the plan. Unfortunately, this video is pretty long and I am going to stop it here, but you can see the plan, right? The plan is get the electric boiler going. And yeah, I'll be ready to rock. I wanted to show you an update on the map really quick. You'll notice I have 16 workers available. That's because I took them off the ship. The ship went out and got stuff, and the stuff that they got was this tile right here, right? We did this fight, and we revealed this tile 610, but we also get access to a brand new oil rig as well. So we're not going to run out of oil anytime soon. All right, the oil rig, if I ever find it, there. So this one, right, kind of 45% on the first one we found. This one over here, we're looking at 59%, right? And then we've got more in this one. It's the last one we found at 84, but we're gonna have access to another one, and it's gonna be right here. If we want it, we can do that. But yeah, I don't have enough people in my ship right now. I need to expand my city, and that's just mostly means this village needs to get bigger. I've made this upgraded. You can see population is growing again. We have capacity for 5280. So another 30 workers is going to come out into here. We do have a flu happening in this. I don't know if it happens in both places at once. It does not. So the outskirts of town here, our second village, they're having a bit of a flu problem. And now, not anymore. They're all good now. But they were having a flu problem. So that gives me some more workers. We're going to keep working on that. These fields are up and running pretty good now, and I should be able to provide pretty much the basic stuff. I'm not going to be able to provide medicine and stuff here yet, but I just want to keep up on food here. I'm all right if they don't have medicine and if they don't have household appliances and all that. I'm okay about that because household appliances and such, that really only helps you get unity. As long as this number is green right there, as long as that number is green, I'm fine. Right? I don't need to accelerate building, although it is nice to be able to do. But I can let it stew for a little bit. Yep. And yeah, and then there's finally the sulfur that's going to come out of this too. I still don't know what I'm going to do with that yet, but I'll probably just process it into slag and keep going around this border here. So anyway, that's going to do it for me. All right, I got enough time for one more video today, and damn it, I'm going to get one done. So we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.